Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we into? We are into Married at First Sight series 8 and we are now on episode 12. But before we get into it, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so when you know I am back on and doing videos. And let's talk about this episode, shall we? Because I for one am shocked that they put in another 2 couples. I was like, because no one's necessarily left so at the moment, so the levels are going to be climbing a little bit. So now I'm just kind of thinking, is this the reason why they've added extra episodes, so we're getting a full 36 episodes of this show? But anyway, let's go on. So as I've already said, we have new grooms and we have new brides. So the 2 new couples are Erica and Jordan, and JJ and Bianca. I'll be honest when I say first impressions of Erica weren't great. They were not great. They were not great because she kind of, and this is what I mean, do they not think about like what they're going to put out there as their first initial bam, here I am on the screen type of thing, like introducing yourself to the masses? Because her first time on screen wasn't it didn't instill me with confidence that she'd be able to see past certain things and hopefully find a good husband. Because at first I thought she was very, very shallow. Then the second bit was she fancied herself a dancer. Yeah, so I'm sorry, no, she didn't instill me with goodness. She really didn't. Then we moved to Jordan, and Jordan's actually a nice looking lad. Don't get me wrong, Erica's pretty as hell, in case I didn't say that. She's proper pretty. But Jordan's a nice looking lad as well. The one thing I would have said on his wedding day, why didn't he get a shape up? Like, even if you just put it as a quiff, do you know what I mean? To make the front look good. He just like literally had a full on box cut on his head. It looked weird. Like, it honestly looked weird. And then we moved to JJ, like we see JJ and Bianca and their first foray into the screen. Like, I like Bianca. I ain't gonna lie, I like Bianca. JJ probably not so much, because I thought he was properly full of himself, because at the end of the day, he's lived in Los Angeles, and if you've ever been to Los Angeles, or if you've ever spent long periods of time in Los Angeles, you know what type of people you're dealing with there, to be fair. You know how they're going to be looking and presenting themselves. So he's basically said that he was dating someone, he had a girlfriend in Los Angeles, and she was a Victoria's Secrets model. But what he doesn't want is to keep going for looks in that sense. He wants everything else. So I'm thinking, okay, so you're thinking that having a good personality, X, Y, and Z, being someone there that he can love and they will love him unconditionally in that sense, having someone who's loyal, sounds like he's trying to buy a dog, but hey ho. So all those attributes that he put out that he said he's looking for, the problem with JJ is he's still in that mindset of the packages, the outer packaging has got to be good though. That's where JJ is in that mindset. The outer packaging has to be good for me to accept the rest. If the outer packaging is not up to his standard, then he is not going to be able to accept the rest of the goodness or the properties that he's looking for in that person. He isn't going to do it in any way, shape or form. But then we get up to the wedding. So first we go to Erica and Jordan's wedding, and as she's getting ready, she's talking to her friends and she's letting her friends know what she doesn't want, and she's quite picky. But her friends are on it. Her friends are really on it. Like, they really know how to rein her in and try and get her off that lofty positioning, get her off that high horse and back down to reality. So her friends are really, really good with her at the end of the day. As I said, Jordan should have at least tried to like really tidy up his hair at the end of the day. So then we go over to Bianca and JJ's wedding, and basically it all counters in the first turnaround. It all counters in that first turnaround and that first reaction. You will then see how a person looks at someone. You're thinking, yeah, I can see that chemistry there for them in that sense, and hope it works for the best for them. With Erica and Jordan, you did see that whole, he's really good looking, isn't he? She's good looking, isn't he? So you saw that. You saw that he liked what he saw when she walked down to the aisle to him, and she liked what she saw when she looked at him as she was walking down, except for the haircut. Then we get to JJ and Bianca, and what can I say? Like, what, his first look was told everything. She was oblivious. Like, Bianca was absolutely oblivious because she thought he was absolutely good looking. So Bianca was absolutely oblivious to how he really thought. But his face said it all. Like, if she literally looked at his face properly, she would have seen exactly what his face was saying. And his face was saying, I don't like it. I don't like her. Like, she's not my type. I don't know if he specifically thought that the experts would have got it wrong, but he knew his gut reaction was, I don't like her. And you could see it printed on his face. And I thought, you didn't even give the girl a chance, because at the end of the day, the girl's pretty. She's not ugly. She's a pretty little girl. She really is, but she isn't LA pretty. And that's where he's got his head stuck, is in LA pretty, and he needs to get himself out of that at the end of the day, to at least give Bianca a chance to show him that she can meet the needs that he's looking for, and also show him that the experts did get it right. But right now he needs to get past himself and the looks phase. As the time goes on, you see JJ speak to his friends, like Bianca's talking to him and everything like that at the wedding breakfast, and then you see JJ go off to the side and speak to his friends. I will say this, he was very rude. Like, he was very rude, and in the way in which he was talking about how Bianca is not normally his type. But his friends were good, especially the one from when he says to him that he needs to look past that. At the end of the day, it's about building up this friendship. It's about building up this relationship. It's building up this marriage to where you want it to be, because you came on this show for a reason. And that's what you did do. You came on this show for a reason. I don't know where they honestly get the thought that when they come on this show, the experts are going to put them with what they've already tried and tested. They're not going to do that. They're going to move you the furthest away from that to put you with someone that's supposedly compatible on all levels with you. So then it's then for you to make that work at the end of the day. I think, to be fair, JJ needs to be honest with himself about that too. He needs to be really honest with himself about that, and he needs to be honest with Bianca in regards to where his head is at, because he doesn't, you can tell he has no spark with this girl whatsoever. She's absolutely oblivious to it. Like, absolutely oblivious, because she's believing that they really like each other. She's waxing on poetic about how she really likes him, that he's definitely her type, and that she hopes this works and can't wait to move on to the honeymoon and all this, that and the other. And JJ's, yeah. And I'm like, my dude, you need to start opening up your mouth and talk to this girl properly. At the end of the day, this is what you, the show is what you chose. You let somebody else pick your partner for you, so now it's up to you to try and make that work at the end of the day. More so as well, I'm gonna say on the end of that as well, is JJ was saying that he, as I said, he built up an image in his head, but this is the classic example of them saying when your preferences don't prefer you, because he has a total preference built up in his head. He has the LA looking girl, the Victoria's Secrets looking girl, but she did not prefer you. She did not prefer him, because she cheated on him in the end with their relationship, and she was quite superficial within their relationship. His preference did not prefer him, so he needs to tamp it down and get to know Bianca. Anyway, we go on to Erica and Jordan's wedding. And this is why I like Erica's friends, because I think this was a bit where I've already mentioned where first impressions, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not sure if I like her. And it was at this point I was like, yeah, I don't know if I like her at all, to be fair. Because she was there saying like his speech was so long, she was about to fall asleep, she needed a sleeping pill, all this, that and the other. And then it was the case that her friends actually said that she was being a little bit harsh and she was being a little bit superficial. So they reined her back in, and she was like, okay, then I've listened to what my friends have said. I'm going to give this guy a chance, in which she did. I'll give it to her. She did, because she did like him. She really did like him. Not the haircut, as I keep saying, but she really did like him. But the thing with Jordan is, when he says he was a talker, he's a talker. Like, he's an absolute talker. He wouldn't let this girl get a word in edgewise. And then when they were sitting and having their dinner and she was trying to talk to him, he kept on making it about himself, like talking about himself, but cutting her off in the process. Now, you see, when people do that shit to me, I literally just switch off. When you cut me off every single time when I'm trying to talk, I literally just look at you and switch off. I ain't even at that point, I'm listening to a word you say. I will switch off. Better yet, I will get up and start walking away. And I'll be like, oh, I was talking to you. I was like, oh, was ya? Because I was trying to talk, but you get cutting me the fuck off. And that's what Jordan kept on doing. I don't know if it was nerves with him or something like that, but he wasn't allowing her the space to speak, and it was starting to piss her off a little bit. So then we go back to Bianca and JJ, and they're having their chats. And as I said, Bianca's waxing poetic about how attracted she is to him, and he ain't really saying anything. And then he kind of pipes up and tells her that his last girlfriend was a Victoria's Secrets model, which then kind of put Bianca on the back burner, because she's now thinking, do I have competition there in regards to the type of person that he goes for? And I think that was so unfair of JJ, like absolutely unfair of JJ to say that to Bianca, because at the end of the day, Bianca didn't need to know who you prefer. Bianca didn't need to know what your ex-girlfriend was at the end of the day, because this is about you two. This is about you two building your connection and building some type of bond with each other throughout this show, and seeing if a marriage, your arranged marriage, can work. So with JJ saying that, I thought it was kind of rude, because there was no need for him to do that. He could have found out a little bit more about Bianca. He could have spoke to her about what her likes are, her interests are, and stuff like that. They could have had a general conversation, but no, he wasn't willing to have that with her, because he'd already shut off. And by the time she'd walked down the aisle to him, he'd already shut off, because she wasn't his type in the slightest. And then we go back to Jordan and Erica, and I would say it was at this point, even though I have my reservations about Erica, that Erica kind of was changing my mind about her, because then she'd managed to have a conversation with just her and Jordan was allowing her the space to speak, and they had that shared childhood in terms of growing up in a single parent childhood, and how that worked out for them and their experiences of that, so they were able to bounce off each other. So yeah, all in all, it was all right. It was okay. Ain't nothing to write home about. We'll see what happens in the next episode, shall we? So I'm going to leave it right here, but as I always say, my renegades, and anybody else who wants to join me, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, so when you know I am back on and doing videos. And I'll be back very soon with the next episode. Peace out.